How do, and welcome back. I'm actually quite busy this afternoon, but I'm just stopping to try this oak mead now that it's been in the garage for a couple of weeks. I mean, it's absolutely clear. I made the video when I was bottling it, and it was a little bit hazy, but I think it's what's called bottle shock. When you bottle wines or meads, they can become hazy for a while, but that's absolutely crystal clear now. So I thought I'm gonna have a try and see how it tastes and compare it to the glass that I drank from the bottom of the fermenter after bottling. So let me just pour it into here. This is actually a craft beer glass, they called it, but I don't suppose it matters. I don't have any wine glasses. My wife is the wine drinker. Well, that is crystal clear in the glass. Absolutely gorgeous. Golden colour. There's not much honey, which is surprising because I thought it was actually quite sweet straight out of the fermenter. And there's alcohol, which is always a good sign with mead. Ooh, oh, that's changed a lot in just a couple of weeks. It's a lot drier. That glass I had from the bottom of the fermenter still tasted quite sweet, but this is a lot more drier. A hint of honey flavour, but not enough that you would call it sweet. Nice alcohol, but not much of a burn, but you can taste it in the mouth. And that oak, because it's less sweet now, you're picking up a bit more of that oak. In fact, it almost gives it a wine-like flavour. As though it's been stored in barrels to age. And it hasn't, of course, it's just been in my bottle. But that's the purpose of putting oak chips in, say beers, to give it that cask ale sort of flavour. And it seems to have worked with this too, because yeah, it's got that sort of like wine aged character to it. I've got about 4 more bottles of this left, 5 more bottles, something like that. This will be nice in a few more weeks at Christmas. That will be a really nice mead. I've got a couple of others to try as well. One's a raisin mead, and one's a spiced mead. The spiced mead, again, it's as clear as this now in the demijohn, so that needs bottling. My raisin mead is in the demijohn, and it's just really struggling to clear. It's out here in the garage, where it's been absolutely freezing recently, you know, with snow, minus God knows what temperatures. But it just seems to be refusing to clear. But I'll bottle it all the same. It can clear in the bottles. So yeah, I've got a few more meads on the go. But that is lovely. That really is nice. So different from just a couple of weeks ago. When I was bottling, I thought it would be much sweeter, but it's not, and it's got a lovely sort of winey aged characteristic to it because of those oak chips I put in. Right, well, I'm busy because today I'm changing antennas, and well, I have this big antenna on my on a mast outside the house, and it's like a big TV antenna. Think of a TV antenna, just scale it up, and I use it for VHF radio. But I'm going to take it down, and I'm putting in its place just what they call a vertical, like this. This again is for VHF, well, it's VHF and, oops, turn it round like that, VHF and UHF vertical. And the reason I'm changing it is because tomorrow I want to try and contact the International Space Station. Amateur radio operators, we can talk to the International Space Station when they fly by. A lot of the astronauts are radio hams. I suppose it's part of their training, you know, communications. And they have an amateur radio station on board the ISS. So when they have a bit of free time, they will sit at the radio station and talk to people down here on Earth. And if it just so happens to be flying by your location, you can talk to them. You're free to talk to them. Well, what's going to happen tomorrow is a bit of an experiment. Occasionally they run experiments, and we can help them with that. They're going to transmit a picture from the International Space Station down to Earth, and anybody with a radio that can get VHF and you can dial in a frequency can take part in this. It's not expensive. You can get a cheap £25 radio, in fact, on Amazon, and take part in it yourself. They're transmitting the picture on 1st of December, which is tomorrow, and on the 2nd of December, and it flies by my location. I think it's between 5:30 and 5:45. It's got like a 15-20 minute window as it flies over. So the reason why I'm changing the antenna is a TV antenna is directional. It just points one way and sends a signal in one way and receives strongest in that direction as well. A vertical antenna like this is omnidirectional. Now the International Space Station is going to appear above the horizon about 5:30, 5:25 in that direction, which is west, and basically it's going to travel around and it will go below the horizon about 15-20 minutes later in the south. So it means that if you just got a directional antenna and it's only pointing one way, as soon as the oops, hit myself in the face then, as soon as the International Space Station moves this way, your signal's going to be weaker and weaker. You may even lose it. Whereas this, at least, it will have full coverage. Now, of course, especially for I'm not going to be transmitting, you're just receiving tomorrow, but when you transmit, you don't get as much power in one direction, because all that power that you put into the antenna when you transmit has to be radiated 360 degrees. But that's not a problem because I'm not transmitting tomorrow. It's we're trying to receive this picture. So I'm going to be putting this up on the mast this afternoon, and I'm going to have a play with it. It's already pre-tuned, but I'm still going to have a play around with it, and then tomorrow I'll see if I can pick up this image. If I can, I'll let you know. I'll probably video it, and yeah, getting a picture from the International Space Station. It's usually a picture of the space station or something to do with science or space, that sort of thing, and there's just usually some words on it as well. So that's what I'm going to be doing this afternoon, getting things set up so that tomorrow I can see if I can get this picture from the International Space Station as it flies overhead. The frequency, if you're interested, if you've got a radio, is because you don't need to be a radio amateur to actually have an amateur radio license. Let me put this over that side again because it's going to fall over. Anyone can buy an amateur radio. You just can't transmit unless you've taken the exams and you've passed the tests, which is easy. I mean, I have a foundation licence, and all you have to do for a foundation licence is read a magazine. That's it. It's just a little 40-page magazine. You read it, remember as much as you can, go online and take an online multiple choice test. It's not even an exam, it's a quiz. It tests you on how much you remember from reading this magazine. There's 26 questions, multiple choice. You only have to get 18 correct. And if you do get 18 correct, and nearly everybody does because it's easy, even kids do, you get a call sign and you get a license. It's yours for life. You don't have to pay any more money. The test itself is only 20 odd quid. You don't have to pay any more money. You've got a license for life, and you can use it or you can not use it. It's up to you. The actual radios yourself you don't need, I'm going to be using the big radio, but you don't need to have any of this equipment if you want to have some fun. Just a little handheld like that will suffice, because on the ISS I think they've got a lot of power. They push this signal out. So even a little handheld like this, preferably with a longer antenna, which you can buy for them, and then you just tune it to 125.800 and just go outside and hold it up. There's apps on your phone that will tell you what time it should be flying by, and yeah, you just hold this up and you can see if you can hear the signal. It will sound like an old-fashioned mobile phone, not a mobile phone, an old-fashioned modem, the wobbling, that sort of thing. It'll sound like that. And then what you do is you get your mobile phone voice recorder and hold it next to it, and then after it's flown by, you've got all the information, you transfer this to your computer, and there is open source free software that will then translate that warbling sound into a picture from astronauts on the International Space Station. I'm going to do it on my big radio, which will be plugged into this antenna, and that I'm going to place that about 20 feet, 7 meters high in the air. And then I'll just do the same thing. I will just hold this in front of the speaker and capture all the information that comes in, and then see on the computer if I've got enough information that it can decode the picture. So yes, you don't need a license to do this. You can take part in this experiment yourself. All you need is a radio that you can tune to that frequency, 125.800 FM. It's better if you're on high ground. I'm in a bit of a dip where I live. That's why I have this antenna on a big mast, so I can get above the roof lines. But it's better if you're on high ground, especially if you're using a little radio like this. And you can take part in the experiment as well. You don't need a license. You just need a license to key up. But as I just explained, in the UK it's really easy, and my God, the things you can get involved with and do just with that one license. I've only got a foundation license and I'm still learning and experimenting. Fantastic. Anyway, I'm going to go and put this antenna up before it starts raining. So thanks for watching. Hope you've had a great day. Hope you're going to have a great day, whatever time of the day it is when you're watching this. And as always, I'll see you again in the next video. So thanks for watching. Bye bye for now. Right, I shouldn't really have too much of this, I think, before I put the antenna up. Might end up this like that.